No, you aren't. There shouldn't be anything in there yet. I was just getting you logged in.
Oh, okay.
All right, so if you need me to stop at any time, please just say so. What we're gonna do today is solve multi-step equations. So what we've done is one step and then two step. And then yesterday we worked with combining like terms and distributive property. We're gonna put that all together now. And the notes that I had, say what?
Just the board say, I can't see it.
It says solving multi-step equations. Can everybody else see it? Okay. So we're not gonna take notes today, we're just gonna do some examples. Yes, that's what I want you to do, please. Good question. And if you need me to stop at any time, just say so. If you need help. All right, so I'm gonna rewrite these because the screen is too small with the print. So let's start with, I liked another one better. This one. So write this down. Can you guys see that? It's 30 plus 2K plus 5K equals 100. So what we were doing was the inverse to get the K's by themselves. But what we have on this side right here are like terms. So before we can actually do the inverse, we have to combine these like terms. We have two sets of K's. We have 2K's and 5K's. All together, that makes 7K's. So there's our first step that we had to do. We still had this 30. It was a positive 7K, so plus 7K equals 100. Now this looks familiar, hopefully. We need to now get the K's by themselves by doing the inverse. We want to leave the 7K here first and get rid of 30. The way you do that is to take it away or subtract. Now you're left with the 7K equals 70. And this should also look familiar. We do the inverse. This was multiplying, so we're going to divide by 7. Making the 7 divided by 7 go away, leaving us with 1K equals 10. So we're not adding a whole lot to what we've been doing. Just a little bit. All we had to do was combine the like terms first. Okay, let's do another one. Where'd that one go? All right, please write that down. So we can't start doing the inverse yet. We have 3 things over here. This is too much. We have to combine our like terms. Watch those minus signs, but we have minus 2a and we have a positive 5a. Let's combine those. 5a minus 2a gives me 3a's. You still have this minus 6 here, that didn't go anywhere yet, and equals 12. Now this looks like what we're used to. We want to do the opposite of the number attached to the variable last. We need to get rid of minus 6. The inverse of minus 6 is to add 6. Make it go away over there. Bring it over to the other side of the equal sign. Giving us a 3a still over here equals 18. Now we want that a by itself. Let's get rid of the one that's attached to it by dividing by 3.
Does that equal 6?
It does. Are you guys okay so far? Anybody not? All right, let's have you try one. You will need a calculator for it though, because it has decimals in it. I mean, maybe you don't. But you try this one and see what you come up with. Those are all decimals, by the way. It's kind of hard to see on here, I know. So you guys are working this one on your own. Combine your like terms and then start doing the inverse. I'm trying to let Presley in, but it's not letting me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and work the first step. Let's see if you guys got to this. You should have combined your like terms there. They both have an X. And now we're going to start doing the inverse. Get rid of the minus 4.6 first. Add 4.6. It goes away. Leaving me with 3.4x over here equals 6.8. Our last step now is division. Get rid of that attachment here by dividing. 3.4 divided by 3.4 makes it become a 1 or go away over there. And I believe the answer was 2. All right, let's do some that have the distributive property. Do you need more time? I'm sorry. No? Okay. All right, let's do 3 and then 5 minus 2h plus 9 equals negative 30. Okay, just because it looks like there's a lot to do here, don't let it freak you out, because we just need to take it one step at a time. Anytime you see the distributive property, that just means to distribute. Don't do anything else other than let's multiply in. I'm gonna write what it means. You don't have to write this next step, but this means take 3 times the 5 and take the 3 times a negative 2h. Watch those negatives. So 3 times 5 gives me the 15. 3 times a negative 2h, that gives me a negative 6h. Then we still have plus 9 equals negative 30. What I've done here is I got rid of this part. I distributed. Now it's done. My next step, if I have like terms, I have to combine those. I don't have extra h's, but I do have 15 and a 9. Those are both constant numbers. They can be added together. So 15 plus a 9 gives me 24. I still have minus 6h equals negative 30. Now this is something you should know how to solve. We are going to get that h by itself. We do what's attached to it in a second. We want to get rid of this 24 first. So the way we get rid of 24 is we subtract it. We want it to go away. Do that to both sides. Now I'm left with this negative. Don't lose that negative. Anytime you have a subtraction, make sure you remember it's negative. Negative 6h equals negative 54. And now we do have a negative here, but this is attached to the h. That means the inverse is to divide. I want it to go away. So divide by negative 6 on both sides.
Is it 9?
It is 9. Good job. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you, and that will be it for today. So get that written down. Again, these are multi-step equations, but understand that not all the steps are always going to have to be done, but you're always going to be doing the inverse once you get there. This had the distributive property that has to go first. So this is saying 2 times 4y and 2 times a negative 16. Again, don't lose those negatives. That that part you don't have to write down, but I'm showing you where I'm getting my next step. So this gives me the 8y minus 32. I still have minus 5y equals negative 5. So if it had the distributive property, we distributed. If it didn't, all we did was look for like terms. In this case, we do have like terms, but watch those negatives. Anywhere you miss one, it could change the whole answer. So now I have 8y and 5 negative y's. Altogether, we have 3 y's. I still have this negative 32 in here, or minus 32, and equals negative 5. So each step is getting a little further to getting that y by itself. Now that they're all combined, I do the inverse. I want this 3y to stay here, and I want to get rid of negative 32 or minus 32. So let's add 32. So now I have 3y equals 27. So these are the things we've been practicing. All we're doing is adding that distributive property and combining like terms. Now this is undone by dividing.